everybody, my name is Millie Parak. I'm a PT at PT Solutions Physical Therapy.
And I'm Sarah Luxick. I'm also a physical therapist at PT Solutions.
We're going to take you through some exercises to help make you a little bit stronger. So they're going to be lower body, upper body, and balance exercises. If you've joined us at our fall prevention course at the East Cobb Library, you may have seen these before. If not, you can follow along. They're going to be easy versions and harder versions to pick what you need to do, and all of these things can be done with equipment at your home.
All right. The first few exercises are all going to be completed in a chair, so find a good steady chair to sit in. We're going to sit up nice and tall. The first one is seated marching, so alternate, lifting 1 foot at a time. We recommend doing at least 10 each leg. You can make it harder by sitting up tall without leaning back on the backrest.
And if this seems too hard, then you can sit back and get some back support. So that's going to look like this. Still marching and bring those knees as high as you can.
Great job. Second exercise, you're going to kick your legs straight out and bring it back down. This one can also be alternating. Just straightening one leg at a time, really squeezing that quadricep muscle. Again, you can do 10 each leg.
Perfect. And if this starts to get a little easier, then you can start to do some holds where you hold for a couple seconds up at the top and then bring it back down. Same thing as Sarah said, keep alternating. Good, great job.
Next one, we're going to work your ankles a little bit. So you can scoot a little closer to the edge of your chair. First one, you're going to go up on your toes and back down. These are called heel raises. Your ankles may pop a little, that's okay. You can do 20 of these. And then similarly, we're going to do toe raises. So if you look at our feet, the toes are coming off the ground. Great job. Final exercise in your chair. You can find a ball at home. You're going to put it between your knees. Again, you kind of need to scoot towards the edge of the chair. And you're going to squeeze the knees together and relax. And squeeze and relax. You can hold for about 3 seconds each or longer if that feels too easy. You can do at least 10 of these.
And if it seems hard to count the seconds and the number that you're doing, we always recommend either using your iPhone or a kitchen timer. You can always set it for a time. So you could do the 3 seconds holds that Sarah suggested and either set the timer for 1 or 2 minutes.
Next, we're going to do some upper body strengthening. The first one, if you have a lightweight at home or even a can of soup, I'll show you with these.
Can of soup or your water bottles or Coke cans, soda cans, anything with lightweight that you can hold.
We're going to do a bicep curl. So palms are up and going up to the shoulders and back down. This can be performed in sitting or, as Millie is showing, in standing.
Good. And you can do 10 to 15, and we usually recommend doing 2 to 3 sets. It is really important to take time in between to rest those arms between them. So if you're doing 2 sets of 15, do 15, take about a 30-second break, and 15 more. A variation to this exercise is doing alternating curls. So you're going to go up with one and then the other. Good.
You can put your weights aside. The next one, you're going to bring your arms up, elbows bent, and we're going to open both arms out to the side and close back in. Goal with this is to keep those elbows high. You can do at least 10 of these. Good. You can shake those shoulders out. Next, we're going to do some punching. So we're going to alternate, extending one arm, bring it back in, and the other. You can go at your own pace. If going slow feels too easy, you can also speed it up a little bit. Great.
Good. And if you're nervous about your balance, definitely do this in a chair like Sarah's doing. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, then you can perform it standing just as I am, and you can even do a little kick with it to test your balance. These are usually fun to do to some music, so you can probably go with the speed of the beat, slower songs or faster songs just to challenge yourself.
Great. Another arm exercise, you're going to put your arms out straight out to the side, and we're going to go circles backwards. Good. You can do about 20 of these, and then reverse the circle, going forwards. And relax.
Hey everybody, we're going to teach you some standing exercises for your lower body. We started with some seated ones, so this is a nice progression to challenge yourself. The first one we're going to start with is called a sit to stand. This is really essential for you because you do it multiple times throughout the day, whether it's getting up from the toilet in the bathroom, up from the sofa after watching TV, or out of a chair after eating. So we're going to take you through the steps of how to do it. We recommend doing these about 2 to 3 sets of 10 each. So again, doing 10, taking a break, and then doing that 2 or 3 times. The first step is scooting towards the edge of the chair. The next step is bringing your feet a little bit underneath you so you feel nice and balanced. Feet should be flat on the ground. And then the next step is going to be bringing your nose over your toes. Now this is where we're going to create a little bit of momentum, and as you bring your nose over your toes, you're going to stand up. Again, if you need to use your hands, that's okay. We have an armrest or your thighs. If you're able to do it without it, that's definitely the goal in case you're ever in a chair or surface that doesn't have any armrest. So again, make sure you're scooted towards the edge of the chair, knees underneath you. You're going to start nose over toes, create that momentum, and stand up straight. Now you want to make sure you're nice and steady when you stand, get your balance, and the next phase of this is setting back down. So we always want to make sure that we know where we're going to sit down to is near us. So we always grab the armrest and make sure we know where it is. And then before you sit down, if you need to, grab the armrest. If not, you know where it is. So you're going to reach back and make sure you're sitting down slowly into the chair. Again, we recommend 2 or 3 sets of 10 repetitions each with about a 20 to 30 second break in between each one. So again, making sure you're scooted towards the edge of the chair, feet underneath you, nose over toes, and standing up. Again, if you don't need to use your hands, that's the goal. You can have them out in front of you or crossed across your chest just like Sarah's doing. All right. For the next couple, we're going to be standing, so we'll show you a couple different views, but you definitely want your chair to make sure that you can keep your balance. Good. The first exercise is going to be a leg kick out. Again, we always encourage you to do both legs if possible, and about 10 to 15 repetitions on the same leg before you switch to the other. So we're going to show you a few on each one. Very important to always stand as tall as you can. Use the chair as needed for balance. If you start to feel stronger and more steady, you can use one hand or no hands. All right, so the first one is going to be kicking your left leg out. Again, as you kick it out, you want to make sure you're still standing up tall, not leaning as you kick out. So not this, but this. And Again, once you do 10 or 15, we'll go ahead and switch to the other one. If you start to feel some muscle burn, that means you're working up the muscle as needed. And if you start to feel that before the 10 or 15 repetitions, that's okay, that's a good stopping point. Just work up to more repetitions. All right, good. Give yourself a little break, and then we're going to show you leg kickbacks. So you're gonna have your legs straight and just kick it straight back. Same thing as the last one, do about 10 or 15 or as many as you can on one leg before switching to the other. Good. And with this again, make sure you're not leaning forward. You want to stand up nice and tall. Use the chair as needed, or you could try it without. Good. Awesome. So we're going to show you 2 exercises in the standing version that we showed you in sitting. So the first one is going to be your heel raises. So going up onto your toes, lifting your heels off the ground, nice and controlled, all the way up and all the way down. Good. And again, using the chair as needed for balance. You don't want to feel like you're pushing yourself up from the chair. If you get more comfortable, you're going to take your hands off. One way to make this harder is if you have a step, you can do it on the bottom step of your staircase. Make sure that you're holding on to the railings if you do that as needed for balance. Good, and then the next one that we're going to show you is the marching. So we showed you that in the chair. You can also make it harder by doing it standing. So again, just lifting those knees. If you need to hold on to both, with both arms, you're going to do it directly behind the chair. If you only need one, you can stand kind of towards the side of it, or try it without any hands. And one more exercise that you can do with your chair is called a leg curl. So we're going to work those hamstrings. So again, make sure the chair is steady, it's not going to be moving. And you're just going to bend your knee up and back down. So it's usually going to bend to about 90 degrees. And then, like we've shown you with the rest, we like to alternate. Feel free to do that for about 10 to 15 repetitions, or you can do the same one and then switch. All right. And if you do have a step or stair that you can use, we recommend trying to use one with handrails just in case you need that. If you feel comfortable doing it without, you're just going to need the bottom step. So the first one is going to be called step tap. So all you're doing is just tapping the top of the step and back down. And we like to alternate, but if you want to do the same, you can. Alternating helps kind of help you with weight shifting and transition that you may need in various daily tasks and activities. If you're alternating, we recommend about 10 or 15 again on each leg, so a count of 20 to 30, or use that kitchen timer and set it to about a minute. Now if this starts to get easy, you can do forward step ups. So this is actually going to be stepping up onto a step. We recommend starting the same pattern, so always stepping up with your right leg for whatever repetitions or time you choose, and then switching to the left. So for us, we're going to start, we're going to go right, left, right, left. So right, left, right, left. Very important to stand all the way up, very tall when you get up, and then nice and slow back down. So we would do this for about a minute, and then we'd switch and start leading with the left leg. And to get the most out of this exercise, like we said, you just want to keep the same pattern so you're working those muscles the same way.
So next we're going to do some standing balance exercises. All you need is a sturdy chair or a countertop to have as a handhold in front of you. The first exercise, you're going to bring your feet together. You're going to be standing behind a chair, having your hands on there for balance. Once you feel steady, you're going to lift the hands and try to count to 30 seconds. If this feels too easy, you can close your eyes to make it more difficult, staying close to that chair countertop in case you start to lose your balance. Another progression from there is called tandem stance. So that's where you're going to bring your right foot directly in front of your left in a heel to toe pattern. Again, holding on to that support surface until you feel stable, and then raising one hand or both if that feels easy, and again, closing the eyes for the most difficult. From there, you can also do single leg stance. We will do both left and right, so pick whichever one you would like to choose. Once you find your balance, you can lift one hand, lift two, or close your eyes as a progression of difficulty. Again, goal is for 30 seconds for each position. Another balance exercise is what we call cone tapping. Now, if you don't have cones at home, you can use a bottle of water standing up on its end. So you're going to lift one foot, tap the cone, back down, and tap the other cone. You can choose to do 1 foot at a time, back down, and the second one. If that feels easy, you can go one cone to the second cone and back. This is working your single leg stance. You can also alternate feet. Tap one cone and tap the other.
Good. And we have 2 cones. We in the clinic will use up to 4, so you can challenge your coordination and your balance as needed. Always start with something so you can set a goal and then try to challenge yourself as you start to get better. Thank you for tuning into our video. We hope you learned some good exercises.